I'll go. Thank you. Okay. Very good. Sorry about that. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Okay. It's recording now when I start. Okay. I get it. Okay. No problem. No, thank you all very much. My name is Scott Carter. I'm President and Chief Strategy Officer for Conduit Government Relations. I'm former Chief of Government Affairs at USJ's Food Nutrition Service. For 12 years, 2007 to 2019, and for the last 2 years before I retired in 2021, I did the disaster response coordinator for the Food Nutrition Service. So I've been working in the food insecurity, local, food system space for as long as I can remember, a long time. I'm working currently doing some work with Nicole Dubé at Fresh Access to Fresh, and I work with Beth Akers at Meals on Wheels, Pasco County, and just trying to work with a lot of other folks to get local, local access and local knowledge, and making sure folks at the local level really have ability to access federal, state, local, private foundational programs. So I'm here to learn and to offer any little tidbit I can, and really appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you. Mel?
Hello all, my name is Shamela Joy, Mel for short. I am a volunteer at the Community Garden 813 Hood Garden along underneath the D. I'm here also to learn and find out more opportunities to work on food production and find programs that we can get in on to expand in our community. So, thank you. Oh, we have Grayson in the background.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Nomi.
Grayson.
Okay, so we should have Kenny joining us any minute. When he comes on, we can just continue, but I think we can go ahead and start with Devin.
Share my screen. Go.
So I know we're also all part of the school left and right, but so as part as this organization that we're working on currently, this is the third year's evaluation for Homegrown Hillsborough, and this is primarily a team comprised of Dr. David Himmelgreen in the anthropology department, as well as myself as a PhD student, and then a master's student just graduated, so she's going to be bumped off here, and then we're getting a new student who's joining us soon, Aria. But as part of this effort, don't mind going ahead. Thank you so much. We at Catfish sort of answer food security and healthy communities. So we do a lot of work with different actors in this sort of food space, lots of food in Tampa Bay in particular. And our interests are on health promotion, doing work with the various multidisciplinary teams, including public health specialists, food insecurity, on the ground workers, as well as various educators and actors in the sort of food system that we all belong to. Usually this involves us trying to promote food security as well. So we try to identify challenges and then also maybe start working on solutions with those we're working with. Which is why when we're doing evaluation work, like with Homegrown Hillsborough, it's been a very iterative process over the past couple of years, trying to sort of tease out sort of what is the food system of Hillsborough County, how can we find ways to better promote people sort of having these conversations like we're having right now as well, and sort of just seeing what are the wants, needs, and desires of the organizations and the actors to make their lives easier so they can better provide for their constituents, their neighbors, their staff, and various people that they are trying to also take care of at the same time too. So year one of the evaluation primarily was focused on sort of this very broad exploration of, okay, what is the food system of Hillsborough County? How do people identify themselves within this space? And then what various things can we tease out in terms of what are their desires for finding ways to make their lives easier in the work that they do, and also find partnerships and promote the partnerships that they already have at the same time. So if you have been involved with Homegrown Hillsborough since inception, you likely participated or were invited to participate in either surveys or interviews. The first year, Monica Petrella had recruited interns. We call them district ambassadors, and they primarily did the recruiting and the interviews for year one. And then Catfish served as the analysis providers for those interviews. And then the county also did their own surveys. So we kind of compiled our interviews and the county surveys to sort of see what is going on in the food system of Hillsborough County. That primarily looks like your year one, that sort of exploratory work. Year two was building off of the framework of year one to sort of get into those themes that we were kind of looking into. If you don't mind going on, thank you. So the big takeaways for year one were that it makes a lot of sense too. The people that are most engaged in the sort of work are the sort of the organizers of the various food actors in this space. So a lot of the people we talked with were nonprofits, primarily directors of nonprofits, and they had various interests, but there were a few sort of crystallized areas of focus, including education and health promotion, and also outreach initiatives. So what does that look like? Education is a very broad topic, and for a lot of people in the food space, that's not simply enough. You can't just tell people that they need healthy foods. They also need to have the tools to be able to grow or access or store those foods at the same time too. And also the knowledge base itself to know that that is a need, as well as the knowledge to prepare those foods, cook those foods, and store those foods as an example. In addition to that, there were various concerns. So a lot of organizations in Hillsborough County identified top concerns for the county to be issues of food access, a need for more food and nutrition education, and also more local food options. So for instance, as we all are probably likely aware, there is a lot of fast food options in Hillsborough County, but there are not a lot of alternatives if you don't want to access that food on a daily basis. Grocery stores are sparse, especially in low-income areas, which is a big concern as well, because also transportation is not great in the county either, because we're all aware of that. We'll get here a little late. And that's also a big issue because transportation, education, and food all intersect, and it's good that people are identifying these connections, but also because this is a pervasive need or want or concern, that also means it should be a concern for all of us as we're thinking about ways to kind of better promote food access. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. So year two is sort of looking into those themes. And there was, again, this pervasive want or desire among organizations to find better ways to provide information and outreach that is actually useful for them. So it's one thing to say, like, oh yeah, like resources exist that you can just pull from, like from the CDC. But at the same time, if those aren't tailored to your constituents, they're not super useful. People are bombarded with information on a daily basis. So it's not enough to just sort of say, like, this resource exists at the same time too. So we, with Monica Petrella, who helped organize this as well, we performed interviews and surveys for year two, which you may have also been involved in or invited to, where we sort of explored that theme of education and outreach. What does education mean for the people that are concerned about it? Is that concern actually true? Because that's what we saw in year one, but that may not be the same case for year two. And what does outreach look like? What's the medium or mode of information dissemination that would be very useful? Is it pamphlets? Is it town halls? Is it seminars? Is it presentations like I'm doing right now? Is it some online database that's tailored to the needs of your community? So we asked all those questions, and we sort of compiled lists and frameworks for people to sort of identify what made sense for them and their organization. If you don't mind, thank you. So the big takeaways for that is education is still a sort of top priority for the people that we are interviewing. And I want to make that clear as well. We're trying to interview people that are interested, that are involved in Homegrown Hillsborough, but that is a stratified sample. It's a subsample of a larger sample of a small sample of Hillsborough County, if you will. And because of that, it's going to be inherently biased because, for instance, if you're asking health educators what they're interested in, they're probably going to say health education. So that's what we're kind of seeing here. And that's important to note, but also these are the people that are involved in Hillsborough County. So this is primarily the concern for people that are involved in Hillsborough County is education. in terms of Homegrown Hillsborough at least. So that's important to note. And as you can see here, there's a high sort of top mission or value of organizations as education. But then when you tease that into like the local, like individual, like the person I'm actually interviewing, as an example, this is only a priority for about 26% of people. But that number is small, but that's in the face of a lot of diffuse interests. So 26 is the highest out of very many interests. So it looks small, but it's the highest out of a myriad of different problems that people are facing and things they want to identify as a solution. So in terms of what those resources look like, people aren't so much interested in something that like your organization can use necessarily. They're more interested in something that they can give to your constituents, your neighbors, your customers, as an example. So less priority is likely needed to like give an organization or organizers within an organization something that they can like teach their staff how to use. You guys are already doing the work. It's more just getting into the hands of people that you're trying to serve at this point. So, and what that looks like here is that the most pervasive interests or wants in terms of what the education sort of would be shaped into is urban gardening materials, farmers market lists, food aid information, and health promotion materials, as an example. So let's say you are trying to promote local growers in your community, but local growers don't know who else is sort of acting in this space. There was a desire for like a database that's, I can just pull up and see like, here's all the farmers in the specific district of Hillsborough County, as an example. That was a sort of perceived want, which would probably be useful for people that are doing this sort of work. And then in terms of collaboration, that's something that year 3 is looking into, which is the current year. We have these ideas of what people want in terms of deliverables, but it's one thing to say like, oh, I need this, this, or this. It's another thing to get them in the room with other people in a similar space in terms of the work that they do, and seeing if they have commonalities and that sort of information need for themselves at the same time too. So year 3, this current year, we're in the early days, but it's going to be a very short next couple of months for us, very rapid. Again, we're expanding on this sort of interest in education, but at the same time, collaboration. That's the focus of year 3's collaboration. So how do we build those connections? How do we get people in the same space together and talking? How do we get them to help maybe even design their own deliverables so that they can better serve the communities that they are trying to on a daily basis at the same time? So year 3, it's a subset of the stratified sample we did in year 2, so it's even smaller. So we're only doing interviews. Anyone in the room and virtually would likely be very much welcome to participate if you have the time, usually about 45 minutes. And through that process, we're trying to see what do you all want in terms of better ways to kind of work together as an example. All right. So keep that in mind. You don't have to participate. We would love to see you though, virtually most likely. And we're trying to just find ways again for you all to kind of just talk with each other, see what you need, and see if we can find ways to kind of better develop a product that you all could actually use in your work at the same time. And the next slide, I think, is just sort of the timeline of that.
Question on that slide,
Yeah.
before you go on,
Yeah.
if that's okay?
Yeah.
Or you want me to wait till-
No, you definitely.
Okay, because I'm a squirrel,
Yeah.
So, question for you.
Yeah.
You said about a tool. In this particular group, we are working on improving the experience for the actual growers, not the actual growing of the food.
Sure.
So we've talked about a couple of tools that would be very useful for the growers. So is that something that we could potentially present to you all so you can kind of help us get that developed?
Yeah, so think of us as sort of the middle people between the wants and Monica. And Monica's the one that sort of can make all this happen, right?
Okay.
So in these interviews, I would love to hear, for instance, what you've all been thinking about, and especially if you have commonalities in terms of what your interests are. So not saying that it's translated into action necessarily, but it would allow Monica to see that there is a need or a want on a certain topic, as an example.
On piggybacking on that.
Yeah.
Mine was somewhat similar, but maybe a step further in terms of when this is proposed to Monica.
Sure.
Or even USF or whoever, is the goal then to use this kind of evaluation to acquire additional funds for potential recommendations that we're suggesting? I don't know, maybe that's a question for you, Sylvia. I'm just curious in terms of like, for instance, like if you were to interview us on what
Sure.
Dee had mentioned, that we've identified a few tools that would be useful, or, to make the case for that, right? In terms of the interview, or like how is the interview just like information finding?
Sure. So I would say every year is a little less information finding, a little more trying to actually find something that Monica might want to do, as an example. So we're at this year 3 stage right now. Because basically year 1 and year 2, we're interfacing with Monica and saying like, okay, here's what we're seeing, here's what do we want to do. So year 1, we saw there was interest in education. So Monica, oh, maybe we should explore that topic a little further. So that's what year 2 sort of developed into. And then year 3 is a mixture of what we saw in year 2, and Monica saying, I want to find ways to better get you all together. Whereas like, what's the glue that could connect you all better? So that's sort of how the working groups formed. At the same time too, is there's this perception that we want to get you all in the same room talking with each other, basically. So whatever year 4 looks like, whether that's with us or with another team that Monica is sort of working with, we're not entirely sure yet, because currently this contract only for year 3, but I think on year 4 there's any need with Monica to do so. Would be sort of finding ways, since we've got these people sort of talking all with each other, as an example, to then develop those projects at the same time. So you think of this, in my mind, this is like the 75% mark, then the 100% mark would be year 4. We're like, okay, here's what we want to do, let's do it. So if you all have similar desires, that would be a good way to sort of say, hey, Monica, there's need to do X, Y, or Z at the same time too. So
yeah, and I guess I say that too, because like, we are currently as a group evaluating community orgs proposals for grant funding that Homegrown Hillsborough would distribute. But with that, we're getting an opportunity to also see where the gaps are in kind of the community that interacts with even just our group or the rest of the groups. And so, and we've also all brought to the table kind of our own interests and needs and stuff with regard to like what we're focused on with food producers. And so I guess the reason I was asking too is because if we're to give you some of that info and like background knowledge within the interview process, to be able to, when you're developing the impact report, for instance, to be able to communicate those things to Monica, because that'll obviously help her when the Homegrown Hillsborough team does go out for funding or makes the case to the county, right, to support or provide more funding. So that's why I was just.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely agree. And also one thing that Catfish.
Everything costs money.
Yeah, 1,000%. Well, that's why one aspect of Catfish also is helping with grant writing processes. People have various levels of experience with that. So one service they provide is helping with grant writing as well. But in terms of grant acquisition with like Monica or proposals for that, she's sort of, and to my understanding, trying to find better ways to kind of get those going. So the working groups are doing a great job. So yeah, I agree. There's need to do that, and I think Monica also is seeing that too at the same time. So you'll probably see more on the ground like traction and movements with that going forward, based on these things as well too. But yeah, so I think the next slide is sort of where we're at. So very early stages, because this took a lot of planning and sort of seeing what the direction was for year 3 at least. So the instrument, which is the interview guides, already finished and finalized with Monica. The IRB approval, which is the USF review board, passed this, so we don't have to worry about any red tape anymore. So we can get going with the process. So it's my understanding Monica and or Savannah are kind of seeing who'd be interested in pilot testing, and generally it's a small subset of who we're trying to interview to sort of do their early stages interviews and then see if there's anything wrong with the guide, is it awkward, or the questions you think that need to be asked. So if you see, for instance, like you want to see something about grants or grant acquisitions and it's not on the interview guide, you're like, why is this missing? You might bring that up to me during an interview and say this needs to be added to the guide, because I think this would be important for all of us to kind of talk about. So with that, the pilot testing this August, we're reaching the end of August, will probably spill over into September, but then after that we are full on the rails going through the rest of the interviews throughout the rest of the semester for me, but until basically the middle of December-ish, where usually we compile all that information, do the analysis, do presentations and reports in January and February with the account team, which you'll likely hear from us soon. You'll likely hear from Monica about doing the interviews and signing up if you have a desire to do so, which would be very grateful for at the same time. So if you have the time, either in addition to or just one or the other for pilot testing or the actual interviews, would love to have you. Because the more information we have, the better we can say this is a reflection of reality and what you all actually care about at the same time. So as high as we can get is what we're aiming for. But people are busy. It takes about 45 minutes. You can done virtually or over the phone. I don't think we're even doing physical interviews. I think it's just virtually. So if that's something you have in your timeline, we can make that happen. But that's, I think, all we have for you today. So yeah, you can see the year 1 and year 2 reports, which are very long documents that have executive summaries at the very top, so you can kind of see what the broad takeaways are. But if you want to explore what those year 1, year 2 findings were and say like, okay, why are we doing what we're doing in year 3? You can see those trends, I think, demonstrated in those documents. So if you go to the Catfish website, I wouldn't have you type that in, obviously, one URL. But if you do like Catfish USF, you'll see our current research as well as past research, and with that, I think year 1 at least is uploaded presently. I think year 2 is supposed to be uploaded presently by our webmaster. If not, reach out to me. I can give you year 2 as well, but it should be up soon.
Question in chat.
Sure.
Do they have to register to participate, or is it more just like a?
Generally, what happens is you'll get an email and or a ping on the mobile platform from Monica saying like, "Hey, we're doing interviews, and if you want to participate, you can click this link." That link then will direct you with the process of getting enrolled, which generally is just like, hey, here's my email, reach out to me if you want to be interviewed. It's very informal. Last year we did it through surveys. You finished a survey. At the end of the survey, you basically said, do you want to interview also? You would just check, you would check yes, and then it would happen. Year 3 is mainly just going to be Monica sort of cold calling you through emails or the mobile platform for recruitment. So be on the lookout for those emails from Monica, and that basically is the process turnaround for that. So I'll be looking at my email as well as to make sure that I'm not missing anything, but otherwise that's sort of the process. So if you want, you also can just reach out to me directly for interviews, because we're officially in the process now. So if you want to email me, my email is not on here, which is what I keep constantly making, but I can give you my email where things
Throw it in the chat.
Perfect, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So quick question for you. Just so I understand, when you say pilot program or whatever that said on the screen,
Sure.
does that mean pilot the interview tool?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all it is, because we're not doing surveys this year.
Okay,
Not doing anything else. So yeah, it's
Like look through it and offer suggestions?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and you all, as more invested actors in this space, would be great for pilot test.
Got it, okay.
And I think that's all I have for you. I have space on the next slide for questions, but you're already asking them, which is great. But if you have any other additional questions or things that you think, yeah.
Yeah, if I could, just a couple. Thank you so much. Great presentation. Appreciate it. I wanted to just a few questions, if you could indulge me. When the issue of food aid had come up, I'm curious if there was discussion or questions regarding one, obviously, the bill that passed that is making cuts to SNAP and other activities. In addition, as you know, Florida is going to start a pilot in January 2026. It's a 2-year pilot restricting the purchase of certain foods, junk foods, as they say, right? Sodas, candies, and things for SNAP recipients. That's coming up as well. And then also related to SNAP, was it for access to food aid, getting it, or was it related to, for example, this group with growers and the use of an EBT machines? You know, how to access and use EBT machines for transactions. And I'm curious if that was a similar question in the farmers market list in the top 4 areas that you had versus for education. So those are a couple there. And then in urban gardening, is it how to how to? Is it where to get information on the rules and regs at the city, county, or state level? Is it funding? What are some of the issues involved in some of those? So that's a lot, and I'm sorry to just kind of throw that out there, but just was curious about some of those issues, if you can address them, or address it later if you want.
Sure, yeah. So I'll try to tackle that. So for the first part of your question, which I am interpreting as you talking about, for instance, the one big beautiful bill and the recent cuts to USAID funding and USDA funding as well. So the timeline for the trends we identified preceded that because it was last year. However, I think what we're seeing is that likely those perceptions would, if anything, be exacerbated, or that need would be even greater now, because the need is also greater now, obviously. So I would expect that if we were to do this interview process again, we would likely see even more of a pointed interest on issues of food access and food insecurity than we even saw in the first year, even though that was the primary focus for a lot of people. So that's important to note, is the temporality of all this, because as you know, after hearing the work that you do when you did at the top, as well as what we're doing, this changes on like a daily basis now. So that's something to keep in mind also when we're thinking about deliverables, is because it's easy to kind of lag behind in the products that you're making, because things are just changing so rapidly in this space. It's very tumultuous. So in terms of the actual, which kind of leads into also your second part, I think, in terms of like what the deliverables would look like for the various actors. So the main thing that we're doing is identifying a need, and that need is based on the wants of the communities, which we then give to Monica in terms of the process flow. Then Monica, is up to sort of her to sort of percolate that into the various spaces that she works with, or to identify programs to work on, working groups to sort of formulate and work on as well, which again, these working groups really are a culmination of the desire with Monica and others in that space to sort of get people talking about these issues in terms of food insecurity, or local growers' ability to do the work that they're doing at the same time. So in terms of what their products look like, we more identified broad trends in terms of needs. So like, for instance, if people said that they need, or they desire more local resources for local growers, that need was pervasive in terms of what they wanted. So for some people, that meant that they wanted a database where they can reach out to and say, okay, here's all of the local farmers that work in this district of Hillsborough County. Here's people that work with only organic. Here's people that work with a mix of crops feeding on the area at the same time. Also, there was an interest in sort of like the sort of commercial expansion. So like, I'm a local grower, but I also want to start selling my product to people that we want to utilize my produce. So there was a lot of interest in sort of outreach databases where like I could just see like, okay, here's all the farmers markets, here's all the food trucks that operate with organic food. So right now there is a perception from the people that we interview that they lack the webbing, the glue that can connect them with people that they're interested in working with right now. So like, they're already doing food access stuff, but they need resources to make that sort of happen, not just for themselves, but also to expand and work with similar partners with similar interests, or to expand into commercial spaces, or to provide their produce to, let's say, feeding Tampa Bay at the same time, too, better than they currently are able to provide. So, and again, the subset is small. So we're identifying, for example, not everyone that we interviewed is interested in access for local farmers. So let's say it's a subset of a population of about, so I think we did 12 interviews and 112 surveys last year. So when I'm talking about like trends, I'm talking about a small population in terms of Hillsborough County, but 100 actors in Homegrown Hillsborough itself is a sizable chunk of you all. So there still is, I think, very viewable need or desire, but it's not something that we were able to kind of, with a fine tooth comb, sort of scrape through and see what those interests were at a very pointed basis. So just sort of, we're providing the trends, then Monica can expand into the various webbings and networks that sort of develops into at the same time. So I think that answers both your questions. I think about
Yes.
plus or minus. Okay.
Cool.
So here you go.
No, appreciate it. Makes total sense. Gotcha. No.
Yeah, so and in terms of, I'm thinking we're every time because we're already kind of running late. But one thing as well, you mentioned, for instance, like the current policy changes that are rapidly sort of changing the landscape of food insecurity. That really is the focus of my dissertation presently. So I'll be happy to have a conversation with you either as an aside or during the interviews as well, sort of tease that out. But yeah, so it's a very, as we all know, very challenging, very fast-moving process, which is why these conversations are really important in terms of grant applications and grant workshops, as well as people getting together and kind of just seeing, okay, how can we address these sort of rapidly changing things at the same time? So yeah, we're a small part of that by interviewing you all to see what your desires are, but that's sort of the work we're currently doing at the present moment, at least.
Thank you very much.
Of course, yeah.
Devin, you're free to escape the wild, into the wild.
I will very.
Well, this is the last.
It's gonna be the wild in a second. It's definitely gonna be the wild in a second.
You have me until my lift arrives.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Perfect. Yeah. I assumed there was a lot moving on in the background.
Yes.
So we're
Okay. Oh, so,
Okay, so let's skip that
Oh.
part.
well, I just want to make sure we talk about
Yeah,
the conference and that we need to talk about meeting days, but we can also like
okay, a couple things.
coordinate. Yeah, go ahead.
Couple things. Discuss new developments, assigned readings, learning outcomes, and important news. Has everyone submitted their evaluations that Savannah had sent out in a link? It's like just our team evaluations.
No.
Yeah.
I have it started, but I got you.
No, okay, so I just wanted to put a reminder on that. I also wanted, what was that?
Thank you.
Oh, I also wanted to share, it is
It's
hard.
hard. It doesn't take as long as you think.
No,
it's
it doesn't.
hard.
It is hard, but at the same time,
I don't know.
It's, yeah.
the second thing I wanted to share is that through Homegrown Hillsborough's continuing education funds or whatever, I got a conference approved, and so I'm excited to go to that. It's the Regenerative Investment Forum, which I think I sent a link in our group text or whatever. Then October 6th through 9th, and I'm really especially excited because the first day is like an investment type workshop where it teaches you how to raise diverse capital for food system projects. So I'm excited to bring that stuff back to you. And then on the last day, it's also a tour of 2 regenerative farms. It's in Minneapolis. So I'm excited to share. I wanted to let you guys know that. What else? And yeah, anyone else have any other like things that they
I'm also going to a conference. I'm going to a conference September the 19th and 20th in Ohio. It is for, it's more of a hands-on, it's at Ohio State University. It's more of a hands-on approach. They're going to be teaching things like mushroom growing and things that I really want to learn that I don't actually know. So I'm excited to be able to do that report, to be able to bring back.
When is that?
September 19th and 20th.
My sister's in Powell, right outside of there.
Outside of Dayton.
I might actually be there.
Okay.
Not at the conference, but I'm familiar with people who have stayed. Anyway.
So, but as far as thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Evan.
As far as our moving on to be able to score, is that something that we're going to do now?
Oh, okay, we are.
Oh, okay. So there's an app.
And
Okay.
yes, at least
The November and December meetings, we didn't discuss yet.
I was waiting on Kenny, but
I think he joined.
Okay.
One of the other things, did you have something that you saw on the what's it called? Not the meeting,
On the
but
platform?
on the platform or anything that you all thought was
Um,
interesting?
it's hard to say, I feel like I see stuff on the platform all the time.
I know, it's
So
called.
then it's like, to recall something right now.
it's fine. We can skip it.
One of the things I thought was interesting, and I just wanted to ask the rest of the group, is I saw that, and she's been posting like white on rice, which I love, but the Farm Pixie post that I saw come through, which I was like, she listed some of the amount of products. I think it was something like 800 products already on there, like 90 people participating in that. I'm just curious if anyone's talked with her or met with her or engaged at all. Because I would love to learn a little bit more, and maybe that's something we can have her come in. Just spend like 20 minutes. I don't know.
I talked to Kim.
Oh, you
she's
have?
really nice. And she has like a background in marketing and advertising.
Got it.
And that's what she does full time, but she kind of has like I think it's more than a little bit more than a hobby for local food and stuff. So she also has a farm, or like a small farm. I think in like Dean City or that direction.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And so she's really looking to like bring like more mobile markets to Tampa and have more of like congregating of some really small businesses. She's talked to me about some other ideas like that are related to this, but basically like if you want to sell stuff, it should be pretty easy to get onto farm. Wait, what is it called? Farm Pixie. Sorry, I don't say
Is it just like producer to consumer
Mm-hmm.
marketing essentially?
Yeah. So it's not there's no payment on the platform. So it's just like a
So it's like a meetup.
yeah. So it's basically like here's the contact, you guys figure it out.
Yeah,
so
like
it's
more
just a
visibility.
host.
I think that's why, like, I haven't really understood what it was, and I
Yeah.
think that's a big part of why I haven't engaged.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
sometimes like I see all this stuff about it, but nothing that really gave that very basic sentence of like, this is what it is. And so I think sometimes that limits people from engaging at times when it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, I
think
keep
out
hearing
there's
this name, but
there's no exchange either.
Yeah, so
Of money.
there's no money on like the site, like you can't pay online and you have to.
It's just like a marketing
So it's literally,
of products.
I'm not gonna drop names, so it's literally like that project that was being worked on by our friend Savannah.
Yes. I know.
Okay.
It's
Similar, okay.
It's so you can kind of go through and like click on what you're looking for and it shows you like if I want.
Okay, so she's done the work. She's made the
Mhm.
Oh,
work.
yeah.
Done the
Yeah,
work.
so it's there. Just really a lot more people posting on it. So
Yeah,
I
a ton.
Yeah. Hey, Mel, can I give you that as an assignment for our next meeting, please? Farm Pixie,
Okay,
thank you.
okay. Wait, go back. What
Farm-
specifically did you?
Just Farm Pixie, write that down so we can look into it. We can talk about it at our next meeting
Okay,
As
sounds good.
as an avenue for us to sell some of our stuff.
Okay, that sounds good.
Thank you, darling. Appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am.
Speaking of selling stuff, Georgia, do you have any produce that will be available for harvest or sale for September 20th?
I have right now, I could get lettuce going if you wanted small lettuce. And I have eggplant and herbs, eggs. But since we tore everything up, my interns are starting tomorrow. That's kind of what we have at the moment, but I could get like, tell me, we can talk later
We can talk about it.
more
Yeah, I
about
just
what you're
wanted to find
doing,
out.
and I can tell you what might be possible to do in that time frame.
Mel, can you write that down as well? Follow up with Georgia?
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you, Dee. What did you say?
Can you just make a note to follow up with Georgia for the market on the 20th?
Okay, follow up with Georgia in the market on the
For the
20th.
market. Uh-huh.
I know.
Thank
But
you.
I wasn't sure exactly, like
Well, there's
that
been-
could be
There's
utilized.
been so many, I think, of these. types of-
Yeah.
And they drop off, they disappear.
They
Yeah.
want, or they take a lot of it in an industry where profit margins are already super slim and funding is very like competition, like it can just be, so competitive, sorry. Anyways, this looks pretty neat and be cool to see how this takes off, if it does or what happens, because there's a lot of different stuff on here. So anyways.
I saw another conference that it's here in Florida and it happens every year and I always miss it because it's super expensive. I'm trying to find the name of it. So maybe it's something that someone can apply to that hasn't applied to, for the education.
Yeah, I'm still looking for some. I would really love to get that like spreadsheet going or something with all of them.
There's that's where I found one, the one that Monica sent over
Yeah,
that
she
link
does have
with,
that spreadsheet.
that's where I
There's a
found.
link with the
Not
spreadsheet.
it's a it's a link to a website that has all the conferences for the year listed. That's
Gotcha.
where I found the one in October. It's on Monica
You
I think
that
she put it
link
in
or
the
add it to the app.
chairs.
I repeat.
I was
Oh,
just saying, can you share the
figure out,
link
but,
or add it to the app?
Okay.
Look in the WG leaders right there and calendar of conferences. There it is.
Oh, yeah.
American food system.
Oh, yeah.
I think the hard thing for me is now that we're going into season.
Yeah, we're in season.
And
Well,
there's
there's
not a
no-
lot during the summer because everyone else is in season.
Mhm.
So
It's hard.
it's very
All
hard for me to
conferences
leave.
Are October, November. September,
makes
October,
sense.
November.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah.
Because I really would love to go to some, but yeah,
There is one that's not listed on here that's coming up in Orlando, and it's like it's more focused on climate and resilience. But it may be something you're interested in that's nearby, you know?
Yeah.
Let me look.
Okay, so the one that I was referring to is the Florida Permaculture Conversion.
I was gonna ask you if that's what it was, but then I was like,
Yes, that is it. I definitely, like, for the last couple of years, I've been wanting to go, but I have not been.
Where's it based? Where's it at?
It's in Orlando.
oh, it's in Orlando.
Yeah, it's in
Oh,
Orlando.
last year it was in Brooksville. That's why.
It was
I was
in
like,
Brooksville
that was
last year.
Brooksville. They changed it around.
Yes.
Yeah, they moved it around.
So
I did want to go when it was in Brooksville.
this year they're focusing on what were the topics? But anyway, so you guys can look that up. I can drop that in here as well. But if anyone has not utilized those education, that opportunity, that's one for you.
And the money is going to, when we get to our next fiscal year, which starts October 1st, the money resets. So.
So I can apply again for something else because it's in November.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So yeah, reset. Before we have about 5 minutes until we start scoring, I wanted to mention the Homegrown Hillsborough Conference. Please mark your calendars. Our actual first event will be on December 2nd, which will be like a networking happy hour kind of welcome reception. And that one we don't have like an event posted currently because we don't know exactly what time it's going to be. But then for the main conference day, it's going to be on December 3rd. It would be great to have all of our working group leaders there. And we might ask you to be on a panel or something like that. Obviously we'll do that before the day of. So you'll be prepared, right? So make sure you mark it on your calendars. This will be all day on December 3rd. That's a Wednesday. And then our second day will be on the following day, December 4th. And that's going to be like a brunch at Meacham, and then we'll do tours afterward. And we're trying to tour places that we haven't gone before. So trying to keep it interesting. So just, been to Meacham? Yeah, like that. No, that's what Meacham said. We started a tour, and I was like, if people haven't seen it yet.
I think that's why I was laughing. We were trying to go, and I was like, man.
They can go on their own.
Yeah.
Well, I was
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're just supposed to do the brunch there just to kind of be. It's a
No, it's a great
nice
place.
place.
Yeah.
A brunch.
It was more just the comment of like, we're going other places.
Like, yeah,
If that made you say
yeah.
something, I was like,
What about there's that strawberry, the strawberry farm out in
Strawberry Passion?
Strawberry Patch?
The Passion Organic Strawberry Passion.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know about them either, yeah.
Do they have like tours? Like that could be a potential.
We had some brainstorm ideas, but.
Okay. No problem.
So one question about the schedule of events next week is, actually, this isn't a Homegrown Hillsborough thing, but it's marked it through the Southwest Florida Farmers event coming up next week, and it's in Fort Myers. And I'm curious, I'm trying to figure out what to do
It's
with my
definitely on there.
kid. It is on there.
Y'all put it on the calendar. It's automatically in our
And
calendar.
I'm looking at this one at Food Production Working Group. Where is it? What's it? Echo Global Farms, which I'm really excited to see.
Yeah, they're great.
But I'm wondering if, one, is there a virtual option if you can't attend in person? And two, if there's not, can I bring my kid? Do you think?
For the Echo?
Is there a
I think maybe they're really,
laid
it's
back?
a cool spot.
It is.
It's like worth going.
That, yeah,
to,
that
from what
I
I've
really
heard.
want to go.
I've never been, if you get further, please let me know.
Is there
What do
a
you mean?
contact?
It's hosted by the extension office there, so I would call the like Lee County Extension. I think that's.
I
Okay.
think you really plan on going.
Yeah, let us know. What day is this?
What do you mean?
Like, I'll call around.
Oh, come with me.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
we're-
Yeah. Oh, what are we getting at? I'm like, I can't.
It's harder for individually for us to be like, yeah, I'm gonna go, but then it's like, oh shit, if you guys are going,
No,
then
I'll
I'll
go,
make
but I want to go, but I'll have to bring my daughter. Is why I'm wondering if it's like you think it's okay, and if you guys don't mind tagging with her in the car.
Yeah, we can help
I
you with
will.
her.
Okay.
I think if you're really
Just never
scared,
maybe.
call Lee County Extension.
Okay.
Just ask,
Yeah, no,
like,
tell me.
if you can teach someone about this event and then ask, but,
Yeah, I really want to go.
yeah, that's a great idea. And yeah, carpool guys, yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carpool,
Yeah.
yeah.
I know.
So I saw it and I'm like, oh, last thing, Savannah, before we move on to that, the holidays, that's what I wanted to pull up on my calendar so we can move that. So how do you guys feel? So right now, for November, our current meeting is scheduled on the 20,
Thanksgiving.
yes.
Yeah, obviously.
So how do you guys feel about moving it 2 Thursdays ahead instead of 1 Thursday ahead? Is anyone a-
Thursdays, I have, the economic development working group meeting
Mhm.
from 11 to 1.
Oh, okay.
So I can't be Tuesdays.
All right, so what about the
We can make
20th?
it before.
Yeah, we can make it a different time frame.
Oh, I didn't want to do too many.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Changes.
bringing up my
Hold on.
calendar now.
What about the 20th, Savannah?
Hold on, y'all.
Yeah. Well, I'm holding. I was just asking Savannah first.
Thank
before
you.
we-
I need to.
Oh, okay, that's not.
No, it's.
We played it without.
It'll, by the time we blink, it's gonna be here, done.
So you said it's supposed to be on the 28th?
It's supposed to be on the 27th.
I can do the 20th.
Yeah,
Yeah, right now I can do the 20th.
okay.
Um,
We'll keep the same
I would say
time.
when is yeah, that's what I want to know, when the food sovereignty farmers market is, but I realize it's not on a Thursday.
It's
anyway.
not, yeah. So
It is, yeah.
we're gonna move our meeting from November 27th to November 20th, keeping the same time at 10:30. We're gonna see if this library is available. If not, we will.
You can only book like, I wanna say 60 days in advance, so it's not even like, okay.
Okay,
I get it as quick as I can.
And you can say same time frame, 10:30 to 12:30?
yes. I think that would be best. The more things that we can keep kind of like consistent, I think the better.
I agree.
And then our last meeting in December would have been on Christmas Day, which I told y'all, I love y'all, but,
Even
So-
the 18th is gonna be tough, but I know that's the day.
yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
your group is gonna be on the 11th, economic development. Okay,
I mean, you could do the third, the first, oh, that's the.
you have another group that day.
No, that's the conference is December 4th.
Yeah.
You could do the Wednesday, you could do the 10th. Or
Yeah.
you could do Wednesdays. Or Friday the 12th.
I won't be able to do the 19th. My son's out of school. I gotta check his
Mm.
schedule. That's the thing. I know. Let me look at
Yeah, I
the
think-
calendar.
The further away from Christmas,
I know.
The better.
the better, but, and right now I'm fairly flexible.
I mean, I would be willing to do, but that would be a lot of us seeing each other. I would be willing to do the
just
5th
do it, yeah,
on the
right.
the Friday after the conference.
I
Let's
would
just get it
too.
over with.
I can't do because they early released the 17th for exams. My kid,
What about the 12th? Did we look at that?
It's a Friday.
We didn't look at
I
that.
can't do it at the same time, but I could do it like at 9, 9
So the
to
library
11.
doesn't open until 10.
Yeah, shoot.
Yeah, that's very important to know.
Yeah,
Did you say the 5th?
She did, yeah.
I could do earlier, but
so it'll be 10:30. It'll be our normal time, 10:30
Yeah.
on the 5th. Does that work for you, Savannah?
Yes.
Okay, so our meetings are the 20th of November and the 5th of December at 10:30 a.m.
what's weird is I get these food production and not food production, but economic development, but I do not get our food
Ours.
production. I do not get our meetings on my calendar. I've had issues. I've done
Yeah.
everything.
and protected and everything. And
Yeah.
each time, like, I have to literally go in and do it for each individual
Yeah,
meeting.
same.
But so it's weird.
It's not, ours is not
Oh, I
syncing,
get 'em.
it's not set up.
It's okay. It's
You
not
do?
thinking to my
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think I do. I don't know if I'm doing anything different than you though, because I think I probably do it when she posts them. I go ahead and just accept them all.
Well, it's weird because it's
recurring.
not-
It's recurring.
Economic development, I see hers like are recurring and they're all
Yeah.
listed, but food production is not.
There is something about the economic development that I get a lot of
It's not there,
notification, which isn't bad. It's just like, that is kind of weird that I feel like I get a lot of.
Well, don't subscribe yet until it changes.
Stern hasn't posted past this meeting, so you don't have them posted.
Oh.
But you should have them up to this meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't.
It's not
Well, no, there is.
after.
September.
25th.
Oh, sorry. Is that the last one?
Yeah, I think she
Okay,
did do it
sorry.
in September, but yeah.
Sorry.
All right, so we need to message her so that she can change these two.
Mhm.
And we'll post them first.
Yeah.
Post
Okay.
them, but use the correct dates.
Well, let's confirm the location.
Well, I can't.
Okay.
post it right
Okay, but we can at least put the
See if
dates and then we'll put
I got
location to be.
now. We can go to, Mars after like.
Yeah. That's all I had.
For now, I will ask you to leave because we're scoring.
That's okay.
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
Thanks, Val. So good to see you.
I'll see y'all again.
Val, can we tour your
I
facility?
know, I
Can we tour where you
know.
are?
So,
No, we're a startup
Okay,
and we only have 6 staff, but we're clearing and permitting and all this stuff.
Okay. all right. Well, if it changes come December or before December, let Savannah know so we can potentially tour where you guys are.
Y'all take care. Thank you.
Okay, you too.
No one else is here to score, so it's just you.
Oh. I was like, why?
Yeah.
Did you email it to Kenny?
Not yet.
I
I
didn't
was
really
gonna
have-
show up.
I did send him oh, let's see. Oh, no, that's not me.
You're not gonna score your. So actually, this probably won't take the whole time, because you're on phone two.
Can you, yeah.
We're gonna say Kenny's not.
Mhm.
Yeah, so you guys can kind of do whatever you need to do. Continuing education.
Oh, yeah, we need to do that, Savannah.
Yes.
Acre. Oh, your stuff. Did you do Acre? The Acre training or anything?
No.
No.
I don't know what that is.
It is